Hey everybody, I hope you've had an amazing weekend, an amazing restful weekend spent with friends and family and doing the things that you love to do. Today, as per the title, I want to talk about this issue which I hear so often among friends, family, clients, you name it. And that is this issue of being super disciplined throughout the week, only to then let go of that discipline and throw away any progress made over the course of a weekend. Now, it's so common this, and it does have the ability, if it's a consistent thing, to undo your training and your nutrition, your dieting efforts, if you just basically give up at the end of the week. And the way it generally goes is people work hard during the week, they really push themselves in their training, they get to the gym every day, they're exhausted, they diet well, they prepare all their foods, and then by the time Friday rocks up, this is a commonplace psychology. It's almost like a reward system, hard week's work, Fridays come round and people go, do you know what? I deserve to have a couple of days off. And we're going to get into this a little bit, and it's an interesting psychology, and it's one that I have more than a few times fallen into the trap myself. And really, depending on how important my fitness goal is at any given moment in time, how much weight it carries and its level of importance in my objectives, it can still happen now, where I will decide to be a bit easier at the weekends. But the reality is, you are the product of what you do on average, okay? Nutritionally, with your training, etc. And 2 days out of 7, if it's completely amiss from the way that you conduct your activities throughout the week, is absolutely enough to swing the balance. So let's take someone who's after fat loss, for instance. Their objective is to exist for a period of time in a caloric deficit. And so that person would be in a deficit all week. Not uncommon for some people to push that deficit too hard and then reward themselves with a weekend off. Okay. Now, if one's maintenance calories are 2,000, that's the amount they need to eat to stay exactly as they are, and they are consuming 1,800 calories throughout the week, then over the 5 days, 5 times 200 deficit, they accumulate a 1,000 calorie deficit. And that's all it is. It's 1,000 calories. So eating in excess of 1,000 calories on top of their 2,000 calorie intake is going to undo that deficit that was acquired over the course of the week. So 1,000 additional on top of maintenance is easily done. It's a few beers, okay? It's going out for a coffee, having a cake, and then that evening getting a takeaway as well. It's so easily done. And what I tell my clients is use this fact to your advantage. Okay, I'm all about sustainably getting in great shape. I want my clients to get in great shape and then stay in great shape, and to do so in a manner which can fit within their day-to-day lives. And we can flip this on its head, this reward system. And what we can actually start to think about is how our fitness goals look, and the parameters that we need to meet look over the course of a 7-day period. So for those that are prone to socializing more, or to feeling like they really need to let off some steam and relax a little bit at the weekends, that's absolutely fine. For instance, this evening, I'm going to have a beer in a minute. I've already had some ice cream and some cake earlier. And it's because I've been able to factor it into my weekly targets. I'm mindful of my weekly targets from Monday through to Sunday. So rather than being super disciplined and regimented and really tight on my targets Monday to Friday, thinking about what I need to do on a daily basis, what I do is I think about the 7-day continuum, what my totals are, what needs to be achieved, both in terms of training, in cardio, in nutrient intake. I think about what needs to be done over a 7-day period, rather than just hammering myself Monday to Friday. And this allows me then to have a more enjoyable weekend without actually undoing the work that I've done throughout the week. So you may be watching this today, this evening, and thank you for joining me, by the way. You may be watching this thinking, I feel so sluggish. I've eaten all weekend. I've had takeaways, beers, the lot. And you might be saying to yourself, right, tomorrow, it starts tomorrow. I'm going to smash it again tomorrow. How many times have we all said that? Monday we begin. And lo and behold, Monday goes well, Tuesday goes well, Wednesday goes well, Thursday you're getting a bit tired, but you hang in there. Friday comes around, you just about finish the day. You get home and what happens? I deserve to take the weekend off. Okay? So listen, this comes down to having a strategy, understanding a continuum that is a 7-day week, and how we actually use that to our advantage. That's the first thing. The second thing is reminding ourselves, this is what I really want to talk about, is reminding ourselves of why our goal is important. And I started this conversation telling you guys, depending on the degree of importance a goal holds in my heart at any given moment in time, if it's a competition, it's extremely important. If the goal is truly important, you are never going to want to deviate from what is optimal to serve you towards attaining your goal. So you have to ask yourself that question, is the reward actually a reward? Like, is it actually a reward to go, do you know what?